Jai Hind everyone. In the course Regional Geography of India, Week 1, this is the fourth lecture, the Peninsular Plateau. In this lecture, the expected learning outcomes are learners will be able to compare the formation of other physiographic divisions and the Peninsular Plateau. Learners will be able to interpret the macro regions of the Peninsular Plateau. Learners will be able to relate the formation of Peninsular Plateau and availability of resources. Beforehand, learners must have previous knowledge of forces which affect the Earth's crust, concept of uniformitarianism, which is present is the key to the past, and different orders of the relief form. So, moving to the second order of the relief features, we would be covering today the Peninsular Plateau. It covers an area about 16 lakh square kilometer and forms the largest physiographic division of India. Its general elevation is ranging from 600 to 900 meter height. The region constitutes an irregular triangle with its base. The base is here, which is lying between the Delhi Ridge and the Rajmahal Hills, and apex is going to Rajmahal Hills, and apex is going to formed by the Kanyakumari. This area is bounded by Aravalli in the northwest, Makal Range in the north, Hazaribagh and Rajmahal Hills in the northeast. Western Ghat is bounded its western part and Eastern Ghat is bounded its eastern part. Anai Mudi is the highest peak of this Peninsular Plateau region. If we see this Peninsular Plateau region and we start moving from Western Ghat to Eastern Ghat, we can find it there that the Western Ghat is comparatively higher. As we move to eastern side, comparatively the height of the Eastern Ghat is lesser in comparison to Western Ghat. That's why the slope of the Peninsular Plateau is on the Deccan Plateau region is towards the northwest to southeast, whereas the upper portion of the Peninsular Plateau, that is the central highland part, the slope is towards the north and northeast. Moving ahead. According to the S.P. Chatterjee in 1964, the Indian peninsular uplands can be divided into 8 macro physiographic divisions. The north central uplands, the central south uplands, the eastern plateau region, the Meghalaya Mikir plateau region, the northern Deccan, the southern Deccan, and the eastern Ghat and western Ghats. Let's go one by one. The first one is North Central Highland. I wish you people have studied in your school days that majorly the entire Peninsular Plateau region is divided into 2 parts. The upper part was the Central Highland and the second part was the lower part were coming under the Deccan Plateau. So we were discussing the Central Highland in a 2 part, the North Central Highland, and the second part we would be covering that central and southern portion. So the first portion which we are focusing here, the North Central Highland, it includes Aravalli Range and Malwa Plateau region. Aravalli, which is one of the oldest folded mountains, which runs from northeast to southwest direction for about 800 km between Delhi to Palanpur, Gujarat region. Being highly denuded, its highest peak is Guru Shikhar, which is lying south of the Aravalli range. Its height is 1722 meters. Aravalli are composed of quartzite, gneiss and schist of the Precambrian period. The Great Boundary Fault separate Aravalli from the Vindhyan range. Now the next one is there in the northern central highland, that Malwa Plateau region. The Malwa Plateau region bounded by Aravalli in the north, Vindhyan in the south, Bundelkhand Plateau in the eastern side. This region has basically 2 drainage systems, one towards the Arabian Sea that we may see here, Narmada and Mahi river, and the another one towards the Bay of Bengal that that is going to join to the Yamuna river and ultimately reaching to the Bay of Bengal towards the northern side, that is Chambal, Betwa, Kane, Son, etc. Now the south central highland region. This upland is divided into Vindhyan range, Bundelkhand region, Baghelkhand uplands area. The Vindhyan region extends from Jabot, Gujarat to Chittorgarh, Rajasthan, as well as covering the Sasaram, Bihar portion. It extends almost 1050 kilometer and its general elevation ranging from 450 to 600 meters height. It includes the Bundelkhand and the Baghelkhand plateau region. The Bundelkhand upland stretches district of Banda, Hamirpur, Jalon, Jhansi and Hamirpur belonging from the Uttar Pradesh, Datia, Tikamgarh, Chhatarpur and Panna from MP. Whereas Baghelkhand includes the number of plateaus such as Satna, Rewa and Mirzapur. The elevation of this region vary from 150 to 1200 meters height. To the south of this Baghelkhand lie the Narmada Son Trough area, Singrauli and Dudi. It is rich for the coal. Major rivers are Narmada, Son, Karamnasa, Tons, Kane, Bilandre. Between Narmada and Tapi river, Satpura range consists of Rajpipla, Mahadev and Maikal range, which we can see here. Mahadev Maikal range constituted, it is the extended part of the Satpura range. Dhupgarh of the Satpura range and Amarkantak, which is the easternmost portion of the easternmost peak of the Vindhyan range, is important in this region. The Eastern Plateau region, or known as the Chota Nagpur Plateau region. This Chota Nagpur Plateau region basically sprawl over the parts of West Bengal, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, northeastern part of Andhra Pradesh also. This region has series of the plateaus as Ranchi, Hazaribagh, Singhbhum, Dhanbad, Palamu, Santhal, Pargana, Purulia district. It is composed of Archean granite, one of the oldest one, gneiss, rock with the patches of Dharwar system, that examples are mica and schist. The highest general elevation of about 1100 meters in the mid-western part, which is known as pathlands. Rivers are Barakar, Damodar, Swarnrekha, Koels, which form deep gorges, rapid, cataract and waterfalls in their course. The fourth one is here under the Peninsular Plateau region, the Meghalaya and Mikir upland. It is consisting of Garo, Khasi, Jayantia hills. At the outlying Mikir and Rengma hills are there. It is a plateau which has been detached from the Indian peninsula by the Malda Gap. The Shillong 1823 meter peak is the highest peak of Meghalaya Plateau region, while Norke 1515 meter is the highest peak of another hills, that is the Garo Hills region. Mausinra, which is situated 16 km west of the Cherrapunji area, which record the highest rainfall of the world. Mikir Hills are detached from the Meghalaya and surrounded by the plains on three sides. Now coming on the northern Deccan or Maharashtra Plateau. It includes the entire state of Maharashtra except Konkan and Sahyadri. The portion is there Konkan and the Sahyadri region. Otherwise, majorly it is covered here. It is covered by basalt of the Cretaceous period. Most of the region except the eastern part of Wardha Vainganga basin and a small littoral patch in Ratnagiri is underlain by this basaltic rock of Deccan Trap. The most striking feature of the Maharashtra Plateau is fault, that is 1000 meter in length, giving rise to the present shoreline of the Arabian Sea. Tapi river serves in the north, lying just south of the Satpura range, and steep gradient it is having toward the north area. Important regions of the Maharashtra Plateau is Mahanadi Basin, Chhattisgarh Plain area, Garjat Hills and the Dandakaranya region. Dandakaran region is one of the backward region considered under the planning regions. So we would be looking after this in detail once we will come on the last week of this course. The South Deccan Plateau region, it has several plateaus as Karnataka Plateau, Telangana Plateau and Tamil Nadu uplands. Karnataka Plateau spans Karnataka and Kannakod and Kajikode district of the Kerala too. It showed the dominance of Archean rocks and Dharwad formations. Its average height is 600 to 900 meters, where Mulangiri is the highest peak 1913 meters of this area, which is the highest peak considered in Baba Budan Hill region, which is followed by Kundarmukh Hills, that is 1892 meters. This area is basically drained by Kaveri River and the Tungabhadra. The Telangana Plateau consists of Dharwad and Kudappa formation. The Tamil Nadu uplands lies between South Sahyadri, Tamil Nadu coastal plains, largely covered by Archean rocks. Between the Coimbatore and Annamalai, there is a broad gap which is known as a Pakkad. We can see it here where the Pakkad region is there. Gap is there, Pakkad gap. Now moving to the Western Ghat, it runs parallel. If we see here, it runs parallel to the western coast. This is the western coast. It is moving from the northern portion to straight south side. So basically it is a parallel to the western coast and covering almost 1600 kilometer from north to south direction. Started from mouth of the Tapi river to moving toward the Kanyakumari, Cape of Comorin. Western slope, its western slope is steeper than the eastern slope. The western slope is steeper from the eastern slope. Average elevation varies between 1000 to 1300 meters. This is basically a block mountain formed due to the down warping of a part of land to the Arabian Sea, as the movement has taken place during the plate tectonic north as well as the northwest. So this was the experiencing area of the down warping. The Sahyadri up to 16° north latitude are mainly composed of basalt and have typical Deccan trap-like relief. In this portion, the rivers like Godavari, Bhima, Krishna are prominent. Important peaks of these sections are Mahabaleshwar, Kalsubai, Salher, where the Thal Ghat and Bhor Ghat, the important passes which is linking Deccan Plateau with its Konkan plain. It is going to link Deccan Plateau to the Konkan plain area. South of the Goa, the Sahyadri are composed of granite and gneiss rocks and have more rugged topography. Important peaks are Kundarmukh and Pushpagiri. The Garsopa waterfall, or another name is the Gandhi Fall or Joak Fall, which is considered as the highest waterfall of India, situated in Shimoga district of on Saravati river. The Eastern Ghat join the Western Ghat to form a Western Ghat, as well as the Eastern Ghat is joining and making a knot. That name is Nilgiri, whose highest peak is Anaimudi. This is the highest peak of the entire peninsular region, 2695 meter. South of the Nilgiri is Palakkad Gap, which connects the Tamil Nadu with Kerala. Tamil Nadu with Kerala with the help of Pakkad Ghat. South of this ghat is North, which is joined by three hills: Annamalai Hills in the north direction, Palni Hills in the northeast direction, and Cardamom Hills is there in the south direction, which is also known as Elamalai Hills. Anaimalai Hills slope is rich in tea, coffee, cinchona, cardamom plantations. Now we are coming to the last one section of the peninsular region. So this is Eastern Ghat. The Eastern Ghat form the eastern boundary of the Deccan Plateau, which is stretching 1750 kilometer. Covering an area about 75,000 square kilometer, it traversed the states of Odisha, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and the Tamil Nadu region. It is a series of detached hills of heterogeneous composition which forms a discontinuous chain of the mountains, which stretching from the north of the Mahanadi river in Odisha to Vaigai river of the Tamil Nadu. Average height of this region is 600 meter between Mahanadi and the Godavari river. The average elevation of Eastern Ghat is comparatively higher, that is the 1100 meter. Nandiraj and Bailadila in Chhattisgarh are important peak of this region. The peaks like Aurora Konda, Daudi Munda, Singha Raju, Devagiri, Mahendgiri, Bhishmagiri, Niyamgiri are the important one in the Odisha region also. Between the Krishna river and Chennai, important ranges are Nallamalai, Valikondas, Palkondas and Eramala. The prominent rock of this eastern ghats are Kondalites, metamorphosed sedimentary, and the Charnokites, that is the intrusive rocks being granite. So with these references, we have covered the Peninsular Plateau region. Thank you very much for joining this class.